Here it is, the new iPhone 14 Pro Max, and it's more than just an incremental upgrade. From an all-new camera system to the A16 Bionic Chip to Dynamic Island, there's a whole lot of new improvements in this 2022 iPhone Pro. Does it all make a compelling case for an upgrade? The short answer is yes.
The rear of this year's Pro Max looks almost identical to the 2021 iPhone 13 Pro Max, but flip it over and you will notice the one big change that we're really excited about. Apple calls it Dynamic Island. We're glad to see this new pill-shaped cutout with Face ID components and the front-facing camera replace the notch that first debuted in 2017 with the iPhone X.
You can stay on your primary display even as you control ongoing background activities. It adds a whole new interaction experience when you use apps like Maps or Spotify. When I use two apps like Google Maps and Spotify simultaneously, the pill sort of split into two sections. The bigger side on the left and a smaller dot on the right, still allowing you to control both these apps without actually leaving your primary screen. Already we are seeing a lot of app developers take advantage of this new feature and develop some cool apps for the iPhone 14 Pro Max's Dynamic Island. It's not just the now, it's the future prospect of all what app developers are going to do with the Dynamic Island that really has us excited. Just like its predecessors, the iPhone 14 Pro Max feels every inch premium with its surgical steel frame. At 240 grams, it's almost as heavy as the iPhone 13 Pro Max, but for some reason it felt lighter in my hand. It's also slightly thinner than the 13 Pro Max. The triple rear cam module might look similar to last year's 13 Pro Max, but it's a completely different story inside. The camera is one of the big differentiators between the iPhone 14 and the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max. This year, Apple is playing up Photonic Engine, its new computational photography solution.
This year's Pro models become the first iPhones to incorporate a 45 megapixel main camera that gets a boost from a quad pixel sensor. It adapts to the photo being captured and features second generation sensor shift optical image stabilization. Low light images and videos are visibly better. This year, Apple has added a new action mode that adjusts against shakes and bumps. Just what you need if you're capturing videos during your bike ride.
It's taken a while, but Apple has finally added an always-on display to the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max. This one's not the conventional always-on display that you're used to, but one with a cool Apple twist. The display is one of the big improvements over last year's iPhone 13 Pro Max. It now peaks at 2000 nits of peak brightness. That's the highest on any smartphone. Each year, Apple bumps up the processor on its Pro models. This year is no exception. At the heart of the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max is Apple's new A16 Bionic Chip with 2 high-performance cores and 4 high-energy cores. This chip features an accelerated 5-core GPU with 50% more memory bandwidth and a new 16-core neural engine capable of nearly 17 trillion operations per second. It keeps things ridiculously smooth. The iPhone 14 Pro Max is the best iPhone ever, but you already knew that. It's a great upgrade if you're moving up from an iPhone 12 Pro or earlier, especially for the cool new interaction experiences that it offers.